Hello, English learners, and welcome back to Mr. Language. I'm your host, Mr. Language.
And I'm Anna. Today, we're going to talk about something very practical working at a restaurant.
Exactly. Restaurants are everywhere, and many people get their first job in one. Whether you're a waiter, a waitress, a chef, a dishwasher, or even the manager, the restaurant is a place full of useful English words and expressions.
Right. And even if our listeners don't plan to work at a restaurant, learning these phrases is useful because everyone goes to restaurants, so they'll understand how things work and how to order politely.
So, let's imagine a situation. You've just started working at a restaurant. On your first day, you need to learn a lot of vocabulary. For example, menu, table, reservation, order, bill, tip, customer, waiter, waitress, chef, kitchen, dining area, counter, tray, glass, cutlery, napkin, plate, dish.
Yes, and when you welcome guests, you might say, "Good evening. Welcome to our restaurant. Do you have a reservation?" That's one of the most common questions.
And if they don't have a reservation, you can say, "No problem, we have a table available, please follow me."
Exactly. Then comes the moment to give them the menu. You might say, "Here are your menus. Can I get you something to drink while you decide?"
That's polite and professional. Notice that in restaurants, we don't usually say, "What do you want?" because that sounds too direct. We say, "What would you like?" Or, "Can I get you?" Or, "Would you like to start with something to drink?"
Yes, politeness is very important. Imagine a new waiter speaking too directly. Customers could think he is rude even if he doesn't mean to be.
Exactly. Let's give some examples of polite language. Instead of "sit here," say, "Please have a seat here." Instead of "What do you want?" say, "What would you like to order?"
And instead of "pay now," you can say, "Would you like the bill?" Or, "Shall I bring you the check?"
Good point. By the way, Anna, do you know the difference between bill and check?
Yes. In British English, people usually say bill. In American English, they usually say check. So if you work in the UK, customers will ask, "Can we have the bill, please?" And in the US, they'll say, "Can I get the check, please?"
Exactly. Very good. Now let's move to another part of restaurant work, taking orders.
Yes, taking orders is very important. A waiter needs to listen carefully. Customers might say, "I'll have the grilled chicken, please." Or, "Could I have the pasta?" Or, "Can I get a salad without onions?"
That's right. And sometimes customers make special requests. For example, "Can I have the steak well done?" Or, "Could you bring me a vegetarian option?"
Yes, and sometimes they want to change something. For example, "Can I replace the fries with a side salad?"
Exactly. A good waiter always repeats the order to make sure it's correct. For example, so that's 1 grilled chicken with no onions, 1 pasta with extra cheese, and 1 salad instead of fries. Is that correct?
That's perfect. Repeating the order avoids mistakes, because if you get the order wrong, the customer might be unhappy and the restaurant loses money.
And in a busy restaurant, mistakes can happen easily. That's why communication is key.
Now, let's talk about serving food. After the kitchen prepares the dishes, the waiter brings them to the table. It's polite to say, "Here is your grilled chicken." And "Here is your pasta. Please enjoy your meal."
Yes. And sometimes the waiter checks if everything is okay. For example, "Is everything all right with your meal?" Or, "How is everything tasting?"
That's important, because if the customer has a problem, like the food is too cold, they can say it immediately.
And if there's a problem, the waiter should apologize politely. For example, "I'm very sorry about that. Let me take it back to the kitchen and fix it for you."
Exactly. Now let's imagine a short dialogue between a waiter and a customer.
"Good evening. Do you have a reservation?"
No, we don't.
"That's fine. Please follow me. Here are your menus. Can I get you something to drink while you decide?"
Yes. I'd like a glass of water, please.
"Of course. And for you?"
I'll have a lemonade.
"Perfect. I'll be right back."
That's a very simple example, but very realistic.
Yes. And as the meal continues, the waiter comes back to take the order. Let's continue. Are you ready to order?
Yes, I'll have the grilled salmon, please.
And for you?
I'd like the vegetable pasta, please. Could you make it without mushrooms?
Of course. So that's one grilled salmon and one vegetable pasta without mushrooms. Is that correct?
Yes, that's correct.
Excellent. I'll bring your drinks now.
That's very natural language for a restaurant.
Yes, and it teaches learners both polite forms and useful vocabulary.
Now let's talk about the end of the meal. The waiter might ask, "Would you like dessert?" or "Can I offer you some coffee or tea?"
Yes, and when the customer finishes, they usually ask for the bill. They can say, "Can we have the bill, please?" Or, "Could you bring us the check?"
And after the bill, customers usually leave a tip. In many countries, like the US, leaving a tip is almost always necessary. It's usually around 15–20% of the bill.
But in some other countries, like Japan, people don't tip. In fact, leaving a tip can be considered rude.
So, if you work at a restaurant in another country, you need to learn the local customs.
Absolutely. That's cultural awareness.
We also need to talk about teamwork. Working in a restaurant is never just about one person. The waiters, chefs, dishwashers, and managers all need to communicate.
Yes, teamwork is everything. For example, the waiter tells the kitchen about the order. The chef cooks it. The waiter brings it to the table. The dishwasher cleans the plates. The manager makes sure everything runs smoothly.
And if one person makes a mistake, the whole team can have problems. For example, if the kitchen is late, the customers get angry.
Exactly. That's why good communication and respect are so important in a restaurant. Let's go a little deeper into restaurant jobs. We already mentioned waiters, chefs, and dishwashers. But there are many more roles in a restaurant.
Yes. For example, there's the host or hostess. This is the person who welcomes guests. At the entrance, they greet people, check reservations, and show them to their tables.
Exactly. And in some restaurants, there's a busser. Do you know what a busser does, Anna?
Yes. A busser clears tables after customers leave. They take away dirty dishes, wipe down the table, and set it again with clean cutlery and glasses.
That's right. Bussers usually work quickly because the restaurant wants the table ready for the next guests.
Another role is the bartender. The bartender makes drinks at the bar. They prepare cocktails, pour wine, and sometimes talk with customers.
Yes, bartenders often need to know a lot of drink names in English, like gin and tonic, margarita, mojito, whiskey, sour.
And they need to ask politely, "Can I see your ID, please?" Because in many countries, you must check the age of the customer before serving alcohol.
Good point. There's also the sommelier, especially in fine dining restaurants. The sommelier is the wine expert. They recommend which wine goes best with the customer's meal.
Yes, for example, "May I suggest a red wine to go with your steak?" That sounds very elegant.
Now, let's talk about the chef's team. In big restaurants, the kitchen has many roles. There's the head chef or executive chef, the sous chef who is the second in command, and line cooks who prepare different parts of the menu.
Yes, some line cooks focus only on fish, others on meat, others on desserts. The kitchen is like an orchestra. Everyone must work together at the same time.
Exactly. And the language inside the kitchen is often short and direct because everything has to be fast. For example, order up means the food is ready to serve.
And behind means someone is walking behind you, usually carrying something hot. It's a warning to avoid accidents.
Yes, safety is very important in the kitchen. Hot pans, sharp knives, slippery floors. It can be dangerous if you don't pay attention.
So vocabulary like knife, cutting board, frying pan, oven, stove, grill, pot, ladle, whisk, tray, these are all essential words for working in the kitchen.
Exactly. And verbs like chop, slice, dice, boil, fry, grill, bake, steam, stir are used every day. Now let's imagine a short dialogue in the kitchen. We need 1 pasta, 2 burgers, and 1 salad, table 3.
Yes, chef. Pasta cooking, burgers on the grill, salad ready in 2 minutes.
Perfect. Let's move fast.
That's the rhythm of the kitchen. Quick and clear.
Exactly. Now, let's move back to the dining area. Another important skill for restaurant staff is handling complaints.
Yes, sometimes customers are not happy. Maybe their food is too cold, maybe it took too long, or maybe they didn't like the taste.
That's true. A professional waiter never argues. They listen, apologize, and offer a solution.
For example, I'm very sorry about that. Let me bring you a new dish right away. Or, I understand. I'll talk to the chef and see what we can do.
Exactly. Being calm and polite is the key, because one angry customer can leave a bad review, and that hurts the restaurant's reputation.
Yes, reviews are very powerful these days. Many people check online reviews before choosing a restaurant.
Right. Now let's talk about useful customer service phrases. For example, good evening. How many people are in your party? Can I recommend today's special? Would you like still water or sparkling water? Are you ready to order, or do you need a few more minutes?
Yes, those are great. And also, can I clear your plate? Would you like another drink? Can I get you anything else? Thank you for coming. We hope to see you again.
Perfect. Now, let's talk about busy times in restaurants. Do you know what we call them?
Yes, they're called rush hours, usually lunch rush and dinner rush.
Exactly. During rush hours, everything is intense. Customers are waiting, the kitchen is busy, the waiters are running around.
Yes, and that's why teamwork and communication are so important. If you forget one drink or one order, it can cause chaos.
That's true. Now let's talk about payment vocabulary. When the customer finishes, they ask for the bill or check. The waiter brings it and the customer pays.
Yes, common phrases are, here's your bill. Would you like to pay by cash or card? We also accept contactless payment. Would you like the receipt?
Yes, and in some restaurants, people split the bill. Do you know the phrase for that, Anna?
Yes, it's called to split the bill or to go Dutch. For example, can we split the bill? Means each person pays part of it.
Exactly. That's a very useful phrase.
Another one is service charge. Some restaurants add a service charge to the bill, which is like an automatic tip.
Yes, that's common in Europe. But in the US, tips are not usually included, so customers add them after paying.
So, learning phrases about tipping is also important. For example, is service included?
Exactly. Now, let's do another role play. This time, let's act out the end of a meal.
Excuse me, could we have the bill, please?
Of course. Here you are. That will be $55.
Can I pay by card?
Yes, certainly. Would you like me to bring the card machine to the table?
Yes, please. Also, can we split the bill?
Of course. How would you like to split it?
Half and half.
No problem. And would you like to add a tip?
Yes, 15%.
Thank you very much. We really appreciate it.
That's a realistic conversation for the end of a meal.
Yes, and it shows useful phrases for both customers and waiters.
Now, let's think about cultural differences. In some countries, the waiter brings the bill automatically. In others, the customer must ask.
Yes, for example, in the US, the bill comes quickly. But in many European countries, the waiter waits until the customer asks for it, because people like to stay and talk after eating.
That's interesting. Culture really affects restaurant service.
Absolutely. And another cultural difference is how people complain. In some cultures, customers complain very directly. In others, they are more polite and indirect.
Yes, so waiters need to pay attention not just to the words, but also to the body language.
Exactly. If a customer looks unhappy, maybe you should ask, "Is everything okay?"
Yes, that shows you care.
Now, let's finish by practicing a longer role play. You'll be the customer, and I'll be the waiter from the beginning to the end of the meal.
Good evening. Do you have a table for two?
Good evening. Yes, we do. Please follow me. Here are your menus. Can I get you something to drink while you decide?
Yes, I'll have a glass of water, and my friend will have a cola.
Perfect. I'll be right back with your drinks.
Thank you.
Are you ready to order?
Yes. I'll have the chicken soup to start, and then the grilled salmon.
Excellent choice. And for your friend?
She'll have the Caesar salad and the spaghetti bolognese.
Very good. 1 chicken soup, 1 grilled salmon, 1 Caesar salad, and 1 spaghetti bolognese. Is that correct?
Yes, that's correct.
Great. Your food will be ready soon.
Thank you.
Here is your soup and salad. Please enjoy.
Thank you very much.
How is everything tasting?
Delicious. Thank you.
Wonderful. Here are your main courses.
They look great.
Would you like any dessert after your meal?
Yes, we'll share a chocolate cake.
Excellent choice.
Now we're finished. Could we have the bill, please?
Of course. Here you are. That will be $75.
Can we pay by card?
Yes, certainly. Would you like to leave a tip?
Yes, 20%.
Thank you very much. Have a wonderful evening, and we hope to see you again.
That's a complete restaurant conversation from start to finish.
Yes. And it covers greetings, orders, special requests, checking on the food, dessert, the bill, payment, and tipping.
So, to our listeners, if you learn these phrases, you can work in a restaurant or just enjoy eating out with confidence.
Exactly. And remember, being polite, clear, and professional is always the key.
Well, that's all for today's lesson.
Yes, thank you for joining us. This has been Mr. Language and Anna, teaching you real-life English for the restaurant world.
Goodbye, everyone.
Goodbye, and see you next time.